I'm only 34 years old, but I feel like I've lived 3 lives, like full ones. This is how my life's been. I think it's always been a lot of like obstacles, you know. It's never been given to me. It's always been something that I had to fight for. If we have a 100-meter track, I felt like on mine there's always like hurdles. Everyone else was running normally, but I had like these hurdles in front of me that I had to jump. But somehow I feel like I still made it, you know. Somehow I still find my path. I'm Nadia Nadim. I'm a forward for Racing Louisville, and I'm a game changer. I was born in Afghanistan. We were raised, me and my 4 other sisters, I would say raised differently than your traditional Afghan girl, I guess. My dad was in the Afghan army. He was a general. And my dad was one of those who really loved his country. He had the opportunity to leave the country before the Taliban gained power, but he didn't really want to leave. So he chose to stay, and he was executed. Things kind of got very, very hard because 6 women trying to survive in a country where women have no rights. For us to stay alive, to have a better future, my mom decided to leave the country. She sold everything she had, everything that we had, and found some people who could help us out of the country. We were waiting a couple of months for the human smuggler to find passports that will fit our profile. He came and is like, this is it, with fake passports, Pakistani passports. We flew from Islamabad to Milan, to Italy. And from there, we were transported behind this bus truck to Denmark. Imagine leaving everything you know, like the hurdles in my race. And I felt at that point, I was middle of my race, but suddenly I was like pulled back from scratch, and everyone else was running. This is how I felt when I arrived in Denmark, that I had to run faster to reach the goals that I have. I think fate brought me to football. I was in this refugee camp for the first eight months of my life in Denmark. And just beside the camp, you had like fields like this. We used to go hang out outside the fences, look at these kids play football. And this is probably the first time I've ever seen any kinds of female like sports. I saw how happy those kids were. It just lit a fire in me. I was far behind, but I wanted to catch up. I wanted to really, really catch up, because football can connect people, and you don't really have to be able to like understand, the culture or the country for you to play football. My football has taken me a lot of great places.
It's Nadia Nadim!
I was in Denmark until my early 20s because I wanted to finish my bachelor first before heading outside the country. And for me, I felt there were so many doors that I could walk into. The only thing I had to do is do the walking. And I felt that I was given a second chance. I didn't want to ever experience the same feelings I did in the first 10 years of my life. I wanted to never feel that helpless, and I wanted to be someone whose voice is heard. So I just applied for med school. After the first semester, I've been loving every part of it. Honestly, there's days, especially periods during my exams, preparing for my exams, where you're miserable. You're exhausted and you have no energy left because you had to concentrate on your football. And then you're sitting here and you're like, why am I doing this? I knew why I was doing it. My reasons was that in the future, I will have the power to change other people's lives.
Point to Nadim, the equalizer!
It's been hard. A lot of obstacles, people telling me that you cannot do it. But again, if you really want something, and I really wanted to do both, you always find a way. And I guess I did. I've always been that person that was supposed to do the changing. In Afghanistan, I guess I had to change and be different because I was a girl. Same with like my school, I had to do the changing to be able to pursue the career, the life I wanted to. But I've always declined that. There should be a place for me because, why not? And I think that's the reason I'm a game changer. I don't change myself. I change the environment around me. if you are given the opportunity and the access, you can accomplish anything you want as anyone else in the world. If I am a part of inspiring one person, then I'll be more than happy.